So, we're going to the store. We're gonna put on a hat. I'll explain more about that later. And we'll wash our hands. That's hot, soapy water lathering while you sing slowly the happy birthday song twice. Now I got my wallet, I got my keys, I got my phone. More about those later. And I don't know if you have a spiritual practice, but I do. I surround myself with light. And as I go into the world, I just extend prayers and light to everybody I meet with a big, nice smile. And here we go. I've got my grocery list in my pocket because our strategy is to reduce our time as much as possible in the store and be very efficient and just go after what we need. You know, much of what I'm sharing and all this information is going to be, supplemented by, a lot of studies, and it's kind of based upon, the conservative estimates of how long viruses can live on things and how long they're transferred. One very common sense thing is to be extra vigilant about protecting yourself not only from accidents, but from accidents at home that may require you to go to the emergency room, like a cut thumb or something. Be very, very mindful. This is a time to slow down and to really pay attention to what we're doing and to be very aware. So everybody, we're at the store. I'm ready to put on my mask and go on inside. By the way, there's a good way to put the mask on. Learn about it. It's just a matter of forming an airtight seal so that no air escapes anywhere else where the mask makes contact with your face. You notice that my beard is very strategically shaved so that the mask can fit above it, remain airtight, and the parts that may have an air escape, I tape with surgical tape. Now, you may not have a mask, and that's fine, and you can keep the 6 feet distancing standard as much as you can in the store, and make it very quick trip in, very quick trip out. And you may have gloves, but you may just be using your hands. Just realize when you're going into the store, you're going to be grabbing things off the shelf, putting in your basket, and you're going to be touching things that other people have touched. Just keep in mind your hands are now potentially contaminated. So just keep that in mind. These hands are contaminated. So you're not going to touch your face. You're just going to touch things like the shopping cart, the pin pad, and the groceries. You're just going to grab them, you're going to put them in your cart, and you're going to smile at everybody, give everybody a nice safe bit of distance as much as you can, and you're going to go ahead and leave the store as soon as possible, come back to your car, and we'll see what's going to happen. And this is all just preventative measures. Our job really is to just flatten the curve so we're not overburdening the health system. This may be, for some people considered a lot of overkill, but you can't protect yourself from every little microscopic particle that's, floating around. All we're doing is we're minimizing the chance of us contracting or becoming a carrier of this and impacting the healthcare system any more than it already is. So I was in and out, got my groceries, put them right down here. The one thing I did not do is I did not use my phone in the store. It was in my pocket. So I keep this phone nice and sterilized. I've cleaned it and I only hold it with clean hands. I'm very mindful of that. So let's put away our groceries. Now, everything here has been on the shelves. Maybe people have grabbed it, people have stocked it, people have handled it. So it's potentially contaminated. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put all this stuff in the back seat. Lots of bulk items just to reduce my trips to the grocery store. If your hands are in good condition, then it's not going to get inside, as far as we know, through your skin. It just gets inside through mucous membranes. So anyway, I may have it back on my hands again. So I'm just going to go ahead and sterilize my hands again with hand sanitizer before getting in the car in the front seat and grabbing all the gear shifts and the controls of the car. And keep in mind, I could have only sanitized my hands once, but I had to grab my phone to make this video. So that's the best policy. Try to sanitize your hands as few times as possible, and instead really do it with soap and water whenever you can. And I have in my pocket my wallet. But one thing I did do is I punched a bunch of numbers and I grabbed my card. So I'm just gonna take out my credit card and I'm gonna spray it with alcohol. Then put it back and just maybe wipe this guy down a little bit with a hand sanitizer.
You're grabbing the hand sanitizer also with almost always contaminated hands. So just go ahead and get a little alcohol on the outside of this guy on a regular basis. And now I'm going to take off my mask. Now I'm going to do this very deliberately, very carefully. And my hat. I'm going to take these guys, I'm going to put them right down here on the ground next to my Amazon package that also is potentially contaminated. Now you don't want to shake your hat, and you don't want to really shake that mask, because these inner particles of virus, they can be airborne when people are in a common area for up to 3 hours, possibly more, possibly less. But they land on stuff. They usually land on the floor, or they float around and they get on your clothes and stuff. So we're just going to keep that in mind with clothes. That's why I was wearing a hat, because we're going to throw all these clothes in the laundry when we get home, and we're going to take a shower. Yeah, I know, I have tape on my chin. So we're just going to go ahead and grab our groceries, bring them on upstairs, grab these contaminated, delicious articles of tasty nutrition, and of course Amazon packages, and of course hat and contaminated mask. Don't you just love the word contaminated? Makes me feel like I should be in a sci-fi thriller, but aren't we? I'm going to take off my shoes first of all. I'm not wear the shoes through the house. Now, coronaviruses fall to the ground and they don't last that long on the ground, but it's entirely possible they may be picked up on your shoes. Just keep in mind, we're gonna, it's just about managing these potential little particles, not freaking out and becoming a germaphobe. We're just doing due diligence, and we're just taking a few little extra minutes on these daily chores. Guess what? Can you guess what we're gonna do? I bet you can. I'm gonna get some hot soapy water going, and we're just gonna go ahead and take each one of these items out, and we're going to evaluate them. Now, keep in mind how long these virus lives on different surfaces. So this guy is a frozen bread. Don't judge me in my dirty dishes. But if we did have a clean sink, we would fill it with soapy water. And very easy to wash off plastic in hot soapy water. Check this out. So cardboard, it lives on cardboard for a while. Now you're thinking, oh, it's been in the freezer and we're putting it in the freezer. They die off in heat, they die off in ultraviolet light, but they stay put on cardboard and they stay put in cold surfaces. So keep that in mind. You may want to wipe this off with alcohol, or just remember that this possibly has some viruses on it. And if you handle it, you take it out of the thing and you get the food inside, well, just use your own judgment in wiping these off and stuff, and washing your hands after handling them. Glass. More plastic. This is easy to wash off with soap and water. All these things, more cardboard. You get the picture. It might be a good idea to wash produce. Some produce you can actually wash that's just been in bins that people may have grabbed and put back, or handlers may have put on. I mean, they're wearing gloves in the supermarket, but those gloves are the same as your hands. They're getting contaminated. So you may want to, if the vegetables can stand it, wash the vegetables off with hot soapy water. I'm not mad at the spinach, I'm mad at the virus. And then the final step is to get naked. These clothes, well, little particles landing on your clothes. They can stay on clothes for a certain amount of time. I mean, check the latest data and the latest details. And remember, this video may be dated. I mean, do your own research. This guy is a little snapshot right now as to maybe best practices. You may find things new all the time. And feel free to comment under this video for new things you found out. But make sure, for gosh sake, they come from a good source, not from some strange .com thing you've never heard of on the internet saying this and that. So these guys go in here. It's our shirt and the hat that we wore. And this guy, well, let's go ahead and use this clever little hand sanitizer. We'll spray it. I don't know if this is reducing the effectiveness of it.
In a perfect situation, you would have a new filter for every outside trip, but you don't. So consider that this filter may have particles because you're breathing in and stuff is landing on it.
Don't shake your clothes. You shake these clothes, it dislodges the virus, and they can be airborne for up to 3 hours.
Washing and sterilizing my glasses.
Now he's gone too far.
Thought everybody should see what it looks like when you sanitize a phone with the camera on. Jump in the shower. Ooh, so fresh and so clean, as Outcast would say. So now I've got cleanly laundered hair and freshly shampooed clothes on, and oh wait, the groceries, should I have done the groceries before the shower? Damn! Keep calm, it don't matter. Chill, relax, do your due diligence, do it systematically. It's all good. You're so happy. Last step, finally. 4 parts water, 1 part bleach, make a nice solution. Go ahead and wipe down the countertops. Give a nice mop to that floor and to the staging area. Put a lid of that solution on a rag, go down and wipe the back seat of your car and maybe the handles and all the things you touch. And open your windows. Let lots of fresh air in. The virus can stick around in an enclosed space, and having a nice, fresh, airy environment helps out a lot. Just make sure there are no coughing, wheezing people standing outside your open window. Hand lotion. The thicker the better, because the more you're washing your hands, the more you're getting little cracks in your skin, and that's not particularly conducive to protecting yourself from the virus. The thicker the hand lotion, the better. Don't buy cheap stuff like this. By the way, do you like this camera angle? Go ahead and order some food. Cooked food, hot food. No risk, no risk. The only risk you have is dealing with the delivery, the packaging that it comes in. Then you can even just reheat the food. The heat will destroy the bacteria. Support your local food establishment. And we're done on our 45-minute shopping trip. But you know what? It's time to slow down, folks. Time to just be mindful. What an opportunity this all is, to be mindful. Also, you may have seen my groceries. There's some damn healthy kind of alternatives in there. It's a time to also boost your immunity. And one way to do that is avoiding anxiety, cultivating joy, eating a plant-based diet, all these things doing lots of exercise. Now is the time to be a superhero. The bottom line is just keep washing your hands. Wash your hands when you touch things that came from outside. Wash your hands before and after meals, and make a habit of not touching your face. The common sense stuff, still, that's the due north. Feel free to share this video, pass around the love from all of us here at One Field Media.